What did the ham sandwich know, and when did the ham sandwich know it?
And and Leroy Jenkins was eating his fried chicken.
Exactly.
I'm serious. That's all in there.
Oh man,
was eating fried chicken, and that was and yeah, because we're singing about back in the day.
Man, they went to Patreon real quick right there. I don't know what happened.
Patreon is only $2 per month. You can hear all the wild stuff we can't say here.
Welcome back. Screwface and Grigio. Yeah, today what are we gonna do? We're gonna do Eclipse. Is the Eclipse? Let's jump right in. What do you think, man? Is the Eclipse gonna be some BS, or are they gonna be dropping
censored, too spicy
from the plane? Don't look up.
I know.
What do you think?
Man, I don't know. Look, one thing.
You're tantalized. I thought you were gonna call. Okay.
Here's the thing. There's these, all these law enforcement agencies and all. They've got all these protocols in place for this shit. JW TV. And actually, somebody else I was watching that was talking about it was they referenced one of his videos where he's going through like all these different sheriff's departments, and they've got protocols in place.
Back up. The protocols what, for people burning their eyeballs out? But what are they saying the protocols
what
for?
They're saying is, and what's being discussed,
don't fall down. Don't fall down.
What's coming from law enforcement, okay, and you guys can look this up. There's a lot of videos talking about it where they're going over these again, the documentation, is basically that they're expecting, some of it talks about some kind of terrorist attacks
just for
the Eclipse.
Oh my God. It doesn't even make any sense. It's
weird, man. It's weird, but it's out like it's
okay. So maybe there's more to it. I thought you were just going to be like, man, get out of here.
Nah, again, we go through this every year, right? With some bullshit. The world's going to end every year.
Yes, that's what, hold on, stop right there, because that's what I'm noticing. And it's weird. Well, on this show, you and me, we started this podcast, and because these are the topics we like, more so aliens, UFO, Bigfoot, that stuff, but we like the conspiracy stuff. And I'm finding myself in this skeptic role, which I'm not a skeptic. I'm down to believe as much of this as possible. But what you just said is the truth. I'm getting fatigue. I'm getting end of the world fatigue, because it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much. Yeah. Notices from the sheriff's department. But it's definitely interesting that why would the sheriff's department even need to be notified of an eclipse? Like, people gonna burn their eyeballs out, man. Like, you better get out there in the street and hose them down. And I don't even understand. Yeah, I don't even understand the premise why law enforcement would need to be involved.
Exactly.
So, but I definitely have end of the world fatigue for sure, 1,000%. So,
yeah. I've seen the map of the area where the eclipse. They have that highlighted. Like, look. So everybody that's out. Basically, the idea is everybody that's outside is going to be targeted or something. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems
that's
too
bullshit.
Yeah,
that I heard. Right.
That's what I heard too. So I wanted to see what you thought about it.
Now, what are they going to be targeted with? I don't know. Motherfuckers is like chemicals. Yeah, fucking whatever, mass abduction. I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
Total eclipse of the heart. That's the name of the episode. Total eclipse of the heart. Yeah, I don't know. There's a hot take for you. I don't know. It seems a little much. This is good. We'll get this out before it happens. So we'll do a post. We'll do a pre and post.
Yeah.
We'll find out if people got fried or not. We'll find out if people got fried. I think it's coming right over me. It's coming right over New York, right? Is it going over where?
It's going over this? Yeah, like it starts down here, right? The little, and it goes up diagonally. Yes, and it ends up right there. Yeah, in the New York area. East Coast.
I saw one of the prepper guys that I watch. He said he's from further upstate New York than where I'm at. He's told his daughter, like, okay, well, you can go outside and look at it, but if you see planes at the same time, please go inside. Like, okay, that's reasonable. That's reasonable to say, maybe. But I think, I mean, all these guys. There was another. Now, wait a minute. See, I didn't research this. I should have. There was another date that they had for earlier this year where nothing happened. I don't remember when that was.
Right.
It was you remember that? It was something that was just nothing fucking happened. It was another. Then they kind of moved the goalpost. Now it's this thing again.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not doubtful of it. I'm not trying to be a skeptic, but it's just a little bit like it keeps these dates like the fear. Yeah, I guess what is it called? It's fear porn. Fear porn is
and that's how you know it's bullshit when they say, "Oh, on this date," you know, like we've been around long enough to know, how many have we seen come and go, right?
Yeah.
So
we're gonna get you. We're gonna spray your eyeballs. We're gonna spray you in the eyeballs when you're looking. When you look at spray you with the jizz, with the what is it? The particulate matter jizz. Yeah, they're gonna spray you with the what is it? What is okay, we can't say they're not milk. I don't want to say those other people's names. On the soft of the micros, the soft of the micros. The part spraying the particulate matter. What is it? They're not silicon. What did they admit? Harvard admit to spraying in the app. They admitted that there's particulate matter. No. Yeah, so whatever the aluminum sulfate or sulfide, we should check that Harvard admitted that they're
barium. Barium's a
is that one of them? Well, we don't have to get into that. Let's not say what kind of happy trails we're on. Let's not try to say the happy trails word. Happy trails.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, everybody knows. So yeah, but that was an interesting take from one of the prepper guys where he told his daughter, like, yeah, well, if you see, you can look, but if you see planes in the air, maybe go inside. Do me a favor. That's what he said. Do me a favor. Go inside. It's like, okay, it's fair enough.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like you got to be safe inside. I don't know.
Well, instead of having them jizz right in your eyeballs, you don't want to like get jizz straight up in your just fucking falafel sky jizz. Falafel sky jizz. No, the boomer jizz. Stop spraying that boomer jizz on me. That boomer sky jizz. That's what it is. Anyways, okay, so. Why don't you play that video? This lady said, we're not going to play the whole thing. It's 4 minutes. She's a little nutty. I mean, God bless her heart. That's the first video. We'll see what.
This one is so about the sun position being off.
Yeah, and tell me what you think about this. It has to do with the eclipse, but also the sun position and just you're down there. And can we say the state you're in, or is that not okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just because I don't want to, but I think I like to give people. All right. So give people the idea. I'm in New York, you're in Arizona, so we got a pretty good spread of geographic locations. Yeah. So this lady. So tell me what you think about what she says. We'll play about half of it. It's 4 minutes. She kind of goes on and on and on, but see what you think.
All right.
Okay, this is getting crazy, my friends. Okay, I told you back in September the sun was not where it should be. And I explained it doesn't have anything to do with the actual calendar day, month, name of the month of the calendar. This is about where the sun is in the sky. Okay, we're told that the solar eclipse is supposed to be in Aries, take place in Aries during a new moon, obviously. And by April 8th, if you do a projection on any of your apps, first of all, if you look at your app, it'll show you the sun hasn't even entered into Pisces. It's barely entered into Pisces right now. It shouldn't be in Pisces. Okay? In the middle of March, it should be just about to enter into Aries. March 21st to April 19th, I think. So the sun's not where it should be to begin with, but we're told that the solar eclipse is supposed to happen on April 8th in Aries, but the sun and the moon, if you do a projection, are projected to be in Pisces together, and they're not even aligned on April 8th. They're sitting side by side in Pisces on April 8th. Something is not right, I'm telling you. Now, if you look at your app at night and you align it with Orion, you will see that it is aligned. So it's not the app. The sun is not where it should be. The moon is not where it should be. I told you back in September that the sun apparently stopped in Virgo at her feet for almost a week. I watched it every single day, waiting for it to move, and it never moved. So it's at least a week off. Something's going on. And what I explained was that either, now you all know by now that I understand the flat earth model as a torus field. And in that model, the torus field is spinning. The earth is.
All right. As far as beyond the scope of my knowledge.
Beyond the scope.
Once we start spinning, that's.
What did you think? But what do you think about any of that? About the sun not being? Have you noticed anything? Any validity to any of that, or not really?
Not really. Yeah, I'm not into it like that. Like, using these.
No. From your own perspective. No. From just there. Have you felt anything different? I'm not leading you on. I don't know how I feel about it. Do you feel anything different from the sun this year?
Not really.
No, I don't think it is a little warmer. So you cut it up. What she says, we don't have to play the rest. It just starts to go into the flat earth stuff. She does talk about how it feels warmer. I do notice that, not the temperature, that especially up here, like I'm actually outside right now. The sun is pretty hot for this time. It's March. Like I've gotten off the planes from Miami in March here, and it's fucking cold. Like, so even if I set aside the temperature being off, the way the sun feels up here is slightly abnormally hot right now. Like it's warm right now. Like it's hitting
back east. You guys can tell. See, out here, it's pretty.
It's always just scorching out there. So you're like how fucking like hot or really hot or really
hot. And it cools off in the off. There's no winter really, unless you go up north, in the mountains. But it cools off and it's hot. It cools off. Now it has been a little more erratic than
right.
Again, I've been out here for 30 years now.
Wow. Yeah.
So from when I first moved out here, yes, it's very different. It's nothing like.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's totally different now as far as the weather in general, moisture, but the temperatures kind of more erratic than they were years ago. Other than that, climate change.
Yeah. Al Gore created the internet, that's for sure. God damn it, Al Gore. The sky jizz. Al Gore and his sky jizz.
You see Al Gore out there on the eclipse?
Don't look up. Al Gore is gonna jizz right in your eyeballs. Okay, let's move on to I don't. So where do we end on the eclipse? Interesting. We don't know. Yeah, we're gonna find out, I guess. So horse shit or not, we don't know. We'll
exactly. What was that? Poltergeist? I forget which one it was. When the old guy, what was that, 2 or 3? The old guy comes to the door.
No, I don't remember.
You're all gonna die.
Oh my god.
That's what it is. Every
fucking
year.
Crazy.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit like we'll see. Maybe this is the one. The dead time we talk about it beforehand.
Yeah.
It's we'll throw the red fox references out there that 0.00% of the people will get. It's gonna be a big. It's not Louise. Who's gonna be a big one? Not. It's a big one.
Elizabeth.
Oh, look, Elizabeth, this is gonna be the big one.
The 2024 Elizabeth event. That's where
yeah,
you're
Elizabeth event. Exactly.
They come out.
It's gonna
Okay,
be a big one. This is it. I'm telling you, they're coming.
it's Elizabeth 1.0, 2.0. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if they want to catch us sleeping, they're doing the right thing. Because I'm going to sleep with all this shit. This is after a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's just burnout on the Paco burnout.
Yeah.
So
Sky's falling every
other month,
every 2 seconds now with this bullshit.
So what's next on the? Okay, so this is the main part of the episode. What'd you say? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You want to? Yeah.
No, so the main part of the episode, I thought that was a good little fun tidbit at the front. We'll see what happens. We'll check back in a few weeks, on another episode, and we'll see if we're all burnt up, or we got jizz in our eye, or we got something happen. Al Gore, what did Al Gore do exactly to us?
People are saying, look, they might turn all this shit off. We might not be able to come back.
That's true. That's true.
There's a whole lot of, hey,
he's saying
they got to turn this shit off. The solar storm, and
Al Gore's gonna jizz on me, then take my internet, dude.
EMPs and all. There's all kinds of wild theories out there.
They giveth, and then they taketh away. Oh man, damn you, Al Gore. All right. Yeah. Anyway, so the main part of the episode. All right, so because I wanted to get your opinion on this. I've been seeing this has been hot around the internet for a little while, but we've actually never touched on this offline. What is your opinion? I sent you a bunch of videos with different stuff, but in general, what is your opinion of this whole, fake history? Like now everything's fake. Apparently. I don't know if you know. Do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, they're talking about the orphan trains, and now it's the Grand Canyon. And I'm assuming you heard of. I heard of a lot of it, but it's been building for the last couple of years. Where it's like, I know about the impossible architecture. That's one thing. I think there's a little bit of validity to that. Meaning, I've always wondered, even in modern cities, I was like, how did they get those? I mean, just the size. I'm here in New York, so some of the granite and marble, just in regular cities, when you're next to those pieces of rock, it seems pretty implausible. Like, I don't know. I don't have a good, horses and fucking rope. Like, so I just want people I'm taking a little skeptical approach here, but I'm totally with people that it's a decent hypothesis, but how do you feel about it? What percentage of our history do you think, or do you not think there's anything to this with the?
Oh shit!
Oh
shit, man. Look, what we know now about people changing things and lying. Okay, we don't know. A lot of this shit is altered or fake or whatever you want to call it. 100%. That's where I sit.
Well, wait, let's separate two things then. Hold on. Hearing you say that, let's separate two things. Okay. Because I think there's two parts of this. The first part is, I don't disagree with, I don't have the quote or the saying, but it goes something like, whoever wins the wars gets to write history, right? So something to that effect. Yeah. I don't debate that. I think we should try not to mix that in because, again, Napoleon doing this and who wrote the account. No, of course. I think that part I'd like to acquiesce on. I'm talking about specifically though. So let me re-ask it. The stuff where they're saying they're hiding what everybody's alluding to. I guess there's two main hypotheses. No, not hypothesis. There's two main branches here. That they're hiding a large event where they repopulated. That's one branch. Okay. And then the second one is the actual full-on civilizations with that's what the Grand Canyon one was about. Like they're saying they were full-on civilizations here in the Americas. So one's kind of repopulating. There was all this shit before. I mean, I guess they're getting at the same thing, but I'm not so sure why there's those two. They seem kind of clear when I keep hearing this history thing.
Right.
They kind of fall into one of those two buckets. And that's what I wanted to try to I mean, I think it's going to take a few episodes to really think. I don't even know what we're talking about. So,
yeah.
On specifically, where are you on some other civilization building all this shit, leaving it?
Yeah.
And then that's what we're taking pictures of. There's something with the World Fair that keeps coming up. I am so not researched on any of this shit. So clue me in on that.
Somebody brought that
clue me in on that. Oh, they did. Yeah, I have no idea.
I gotta look into that too. Right. So like you were saying, architecture that doesn't fit with the timeline they said it, is supposed to be. So yeah, and the World's Fair, yeah, somebody on the Vinyl Show brought that up the other night. Like, yo, did you see whatever? I'm like, nah, man, send me, So yeah, they sent me a link. Yeah, I got to look into that. I'll shoot it to you as well.
That's fine. We don't have to go. So you're hearing the same thing.
Yeah. And it's it's, again, people are, for whatever reason, this shit is bubbling.
Yeah.
The chatter. The chatter.
So then maybe play the first one. I think the first video I sent you is the kind of jumps to the other side. Because one, I don't want to call them camps or sides. I really don't even know how to parse out these two things. One is saying there was a kind of close event, meaning somewhere between the 1600s and 1800s, and then whatever. Yes, there's architecture. Let's just get the overall. There's some kind of architecture involved. Obviously, people involved. Mm-hmm. And then I think this Grand Canyon one, or I sent you 3 links. One of them talking about there was actually a nuclear explosion before, which I'm just like, okay, guys, you guys are now we're just throwing all the shit in one bucket where it's like, I don't know what's going on. But they're saying they were like, they were destroying ancient stuff, which I interpreted more like Egyptian type of cover-up situation here in America. Does that make sense? So play the first one and see if I got confused after a while. I was like, yeah, I got to send this to Screwface. Let's just start. We're just scratching the surface on this because,
for sure.
It's to be honest, it's a little bit of a mess. That is something I can say to be critical and not for the sake of being skeptical, but just saying, no, you guys got to clean this shit up. It's got to make a little bit more sense because it's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, so. For sure. And that's, that's the way. When people are trying to hide shit, that's the way they want it. They wanted to make it easy for you to figure out, what really, happened or whatever. But let's see. Yeah. Ancient Egyptian city in the Grand Canyon. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly.
But I've heard, I've heard that. I know a little bit about this.
In 1908, President Teddy Roosevelt sought to protect the Grand Canyon from timber and mining operations. Explorer G.E. Kincaid, anticipating the closure, mounted an expedition to the area to find minerals. But what he discovered there was something completely unexpected. Approximately 40 miles upriver from El Tovar Crystal Canyon, Kincaid observed unusual sediment stains, and upon investigation found a cavern entrance with steps leading to it, suggesting a man-made structure. Inside, Kincaid found writings on the walls not in English or Native American scripts, but in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. This finding suggested a historical connection far beyond local or known civilizations. The cave system revealed a vast underground city, estimated to house up to 50,000 people, complete with granaries, cooking areas, and artifacts indicating a sophisticated society with knowledge of metalwork and possibly agriculture. Among the findings were granaries with preserved seeds, tools made of copper indicating a lost art of hardening the metal, and various artifacts that pointed to a technologically advanced civilization. The complexity of the cave system with engineered passageways and rooms challenged contemporary understandings of ancient civilizations in North America. Kincaid's findings led to a Smithsonian expedition led by Professor S.A. Jordan, which further explored the cave system, uncovering a central chamber with a statue resembling Buddha, hinting at a cultural amalgamation or influence from distant lands. The artifacts and the layout of the cave suggested a deliberate, sophisticated design, contradicting the notion of an isolated or primitive local civilization. Despite significant discoveries, mainstream researchers and the Smithsonian have labeled the account as a hoax and dismissing the claims of an advanced civilization predating Native Americans in the Grand Canyon, and the possibility of ancient transoceanic contacts that might have influenced pre-Columbian American civilizations. Any and all attempts to further explore or validate Kincaid's findings face governmental restrictions, with areas off limits for exploration. This remarkable discovery aligns with local tribal legends, such as the
Aha! Restrictions.
historical basis for tales of ancient peoples and non-human entities emerging from the Grand Canyon, blending myth with tangible archaeological intrigue.
That's pretty much what
Yeah,
I heard.
I'm not in the know. This is the first, like, I'm really not. It's weird because I'm out there, you know me. I'm out there in the fucking internet. I'm out there in the internet for my business, for everything. So what's weird is, so you've heard this before.
Yes, I've heard the account. Yes.
Mm.
And that's pretty much. So yeah, they found some shit out there. Now I didn't know about the Roosevelt initial. You know, that guy was out there doing whatever surveying, and then
we should check all that eventually.
Yeah,
I think I'll go back and try to figure out what's, because that the narrator is just too convincing. Man, I'm being for real. He's good.
Great.
I'm sold. I'm sold. I don't know if I believe it.
What?
So good.
Yeah. So what else? So that's what I mean. That part of the timeline I did not hear before, but and we've heard this with other findings and so-called discoveries, is that these, the Smithsonian, look, all these guys, these archaeologists, is one gig. You're working for one of these institutions, and so once so like here, the Smithsonian shows up, and then nothing else to see there. Allegedly, I've seen, because there's news allegedly. I mean, I've seen them. Again, are they authentic? There are newspaper articles about the initial discovery. Okay, that's what people point to.
Now, is this connected? Hang on, is this connected at all to the Giants?
No, but
okay, so that's
the
not
Smithsonian. They're part of that too.
Okay, so it is.
Yeah, so they are.
I mean, that doesn't. I'm saying it doesn't sound like a stretch.
Right.
You know what I mean? That doesn't sound like. If anything, I think you would want those two. Meaning, if you're trying to make this hypothesis about the Grand Canyon, I think there's gonna be a connection somewhere with some of this stuff, because there can only be so many realities on so many timelines. Well, I mean, okay. Not getting into the multi-universe bullshit, which I happen to believe. If we're setting that aside, that we can have as many realities as we want, okay, set that aside. That's a little bit metaphysical. If we're actually talking about dealing with something concrete here, about a hidden time and hidden stuff like that, that's one of the situations that seems hard to me. Like, again, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying the actual act of covering that up seems a little difficult to me. And so does the Giants as well. I'm not saying it doesn't exist in that they're not covering it up, but I guess what I'm saying is they would have to be covering up something that connects to itself. Does that make sense at all? You know what I mean? I don't think there could be this many separate things, because then we walk straight into, I think, and this is what we can do. Maybe we're adding some context here, context and color to the conversation, because then we walk right into the dinosaurs being fake. See, I need to have all that in one conversation is what I'm saying. Like, because you can't, I mean, yes, theoretically, they're possibly hundreds of thousands of years apart. Maybe not, because all that stuff,
right?
As all these separate conspiracies rise, there has to be some fluid connection between some of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like something stopped completely and then something else started completely. That's not how any of this shit works. So, well, then let's just talk about that. Where are you on the dinosaurs? We've never talked about this on our personal, but where are you on the dinosaurs?
Oh shit. Yeah. I never even really looked into, if
do you think they're real or not at this point right now?
From what I know, I mean, I have no reason to think that there was. Yeah, there's evidence of them, but yeah, because I don't even know what that is about as far as them not being real at all. So you're saying like not at all? Yeah, I really.
Yeah, people are saying the museums, and again, I'm tracing all this back to the museums because you brought up a great point with the institutions because all of these things track back to that.
Yes.
To the institutions, and supposedly everything we're looking at in the museums, those are fake. Those are not real bones.
Yes, that I do.
So they supposedly recreate all those, which brings into which brings into the
So
the full things in question.
Yes.
But then they're hiding the giants. So they want us to think there's giant reptiles that are fake, but they don't want us to think that there's big giants that are human. Again, and I'm not calling bullshit on any of it. I'm just trying to I think it'd be good for the community to start discussing some of these things in at least tandem or conjunction with each other. Does that make sense? Because
yes.
You start to get this, we made a gumbo joke the other time. Mumbo jumbo gumbo with all this shit where it's like, yo guys, okay, well we gotta track this some way. And I'm open to all of it. I'm open to sure. It all sounds fun.
We do know what we see in the museums is their interpretation, right?
That's great.
Like that I do know. So I'm not saying but we know that
But they found a tooth. They got a tooth. They got a saber tooth.
They built the whole thing because of a tooth or a little femur bone or something, and then they just make this, and we see what we see. So again, we all know that it's managed. All right, to what degree?
What about the giants? What about the giants then? The giant people. What do you think about? What do you think about that history?
Totally plausible. Again, so that's your connecting thread. The Smithsonian specifically with that one as well.
Yeah,
okay. They're connected to. Smithsonian comes in and shuts every. You don't hear nothing about it no more. That's another. With a lot of these, but the giants.
Man, that's a big I'll just throw this out there again to the community. And I'm not being a skeptic to whatever. We just have to realize, as I believe more of this stuff to be true than not, meaning the conspiracies, I believe to be more true. I believe I like all these conspiracies,
right?
But that's a big. Okay, this is what I'm going to throw out there to the community. I'm on your side. I'm in there, but that's a big project to manage. Just throwing that out there. That's a big project to manage. Keeping the giants hidden. Making fake dinosaurs, and then you're hiding the Egyptians in the Grand Canyon. Okay, you got to keep. I'm just saying, your shit better be tight. Your shit better be tight. If you're, I mean,
it's not. Now, like back in the day,
we're finding out. Well, we don't know what we're finding out because I want to actually see some of that stuff. I've seen those pictures of giant things, supposedly,
right?
But I don't know where those things are from. I don't know where that stuff is. Again, it's like calling bullshit on bullshit. It's hard to really.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. It's like I don't know where I have.
There are some things that you can. This is what I do. There are some documented discoveries that, again, they can't hide. All right, like okay,
give me one. That'd be good.
Okay, right. They said this huge underground, city, whatever, could house large numbers of people, all kinds of shit down there. They have found, damn it, I can't remember the name of it. I want to say is it Turkey? Is that in Turkey also? Anyway, no. Oh shit. Is it Turkey? Fuck, I can't remember. Anyway, that's the thing.
I get the idea.
They have discovered that. Okay, when I say, and there's these huge that people somehow managed to carve out this huge underground city, okay, complete with room for livestock and waterways and these huge stone doors that roll back and forth. Look, that's a thing. That's real. Okay, it's a damn shame I can't remember the name of it right now. But maybe,
no, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Plug it in after or something. So when I hear, so that's what I'm saying. What I do is if
I believe it's plausible too.
Yeah,
I believe it's plausible, but like I said, you're either right where the project's kind of falling apart, right? And then they're like, well, they're not doing a good job with the project overall of hidden history,
right.
whether we're talking about modern. So, but let me ask you something. Okay, hold on. Let's continue to like kind of parse this apart, because I think this is the important part. And I think it's lazy when I say of us, meaning conspiracy minded folk, fake history. Those cities, now you're talking about thousands of years ago, so we're not talking about the orphan trains of 1800s and all this modern. I would consider that modern. What you're saying that you heard of, that's ancient. You're or at least what you're thinking or what you've heard, what you thought you heard. This is ancient stuff, right? We're talking about in the Grand Canyon. We're not talking about 1800 stuff.
That's it. Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay.
That's ancient, right? And again, the idea, and I'll say this, the idea.
So we're talking several cycles of this project. So I just want to keep it in mind. I want to throw it out there. That's what we're talking about, is that we're talking about something thousands of years of old, and maybe those people or entities are dead, right? We don't even know. Well, so let me ask you, do you even, to what extent that are you even talking about human with the ancient mysteries, ancient history? Are you even sure you're talking about humans? Are we even sure we're talking about humans?
How can we be
right.
sure?
So we don't know. Okay. So we could be talking about two completely different species. We could be talking about what was here thousands of years ago, whatever experiment happened with DNA. And then, the orphan train shit of modern stuff, when you get into the World Fair stuff, that just gets even wilder. You know what I mean? To me, that just even gets like, holy shit. So we're talking about this happening twice, and then you get into that discussion of like, this keeps happening over and over again, right? I mean, that's the kind of bottom line. The root, right, is that we keep getting wipes, like it's like the Men in Black, right, with the pen. We keep getting our memories wiped. It's like, oh no, you guys were never here. You guys came from monkeys, and all little monkey babies, and you came up and you ate the little grubs and ate the grubs, and you turned into bigger monkeys, and then you crawled up the trees, and then nothing to see here. Yeah, exactly.
But the Grand Canyon thing, there's another thread that connects it. As far as again, what did they tell us? All these groups of people, all these ancient civilizations evolved independently. Again, that's been blown out of the water. Okay?
I think you're right there. I think there's so much
there's evidence.
So much of the foundation has fallen away for that. Yeah, there's a little
especially with the Egyptian shit. They've 100% found.
I agree.
Sumerian shit. Way, I forget where what fucking A. But it's Sumerian text on the other side of on some pottery on the other side of the planet where it should be. Right. There's shit like that everywhere. So again, you take all the little shit, and you don't need that much to understand. Yeah, that's plausible, at least if you're being conservative. Okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Sure.
So the whole Grand Canyon thing, 100% plausible from what we know.
Well, there's also the burial mounds here too. I think those are in Ohio, or they're the snake mounds. Do you know those things?
Yes.
It's another thing where that's like really pretty kind of close to, it tends to feel more exotic when you talk about the stuff in like the Grand Canyon, like the desert feels, it just sounds more exotic, but there's supposedly some, pretty plain places that have some wild shit going on, like those I guess they call them the snake. Yeah, the snake.
Yeah, there's one that's
something like that.
Big ass snake, right? When you look at it, when you fly over it, it's a big ass snake, right? You need a drone to see it, but so, and which again isn't. Hasn't really been. I've heard. They say Native people did it. Then you hear, well, the Native people say they didn't do it.
Exactly.
So, that's what I mean. It's like you just can't get a straight answer, from these institutions. And what we know,
the Native people said they didn't do it.
No,
really. No, I know. Yeah.
Well, they say
they didn't really. Yeah, no, I know. It's
like, like the conquistadors, came in and was like, "Hey, where'd you how'd you guys build all this shit? And they're like, hey, we didn't. This shit
We
was
didn't. What the fuck?
you know, that's documented allegedly, like, you know, back in the day when, you know, so.
Well, that's the way it is. That's with Peru too. And
yeah,
the,
Peru and Mayan shit, right? You know,
the what's the top of the mountain in Peru? Machu Picchu, where there's the, you know, there's you know, they try to say it's all one thing, and clearly you can see the human part is just a fucking train wreck. It's just shit thrown, little rocks thrown in there. Yeah, and the other things are just like bazillion ton fucking rocks. Where it's like, oh no, that's the same thing. It's like, come on, man.
Wall, and then you see where people, again, something happened.
Yeah, that's
those
funny,
motherfuckers
man.
didn't know how to build, you know, but yeah, they tried to add on, right? Yeah, you could see it. Like,
and then you bring up to them, and then we're right back at the moon. And the technology for the moon, and then you bring up to these what's the good, I gotta steal it from Bronze Age pervert. Oh, the stuffed shirts. He calls them the stuffed shirts. This is stuff, the pocket projector crowd. You know, when you bring up the fact, you're like, hey, fuckface, technology doesn't get worse, it gets better. And they're like, oh well, you know, rocks and horses and things, and we wish we had that technology to go back to the moon, but we lost that because we needed the tapes and the whole thing. You know what's interesting is I just made that connection right now. The whole thing follows that same pattern of bullshit, though. It's like, well, the technology, you know, that's not a, you know, yeah, generally technology gets better except for all this shit that we're talking about, that it got really worse, where we fucked it up.
Moon, right. But just that alone. They're basically saying, look, we got lucky, man. Yeah, JFK said we gonna do it, and then everybody down and got it done, and then we fucked up, threw out half of the shit, and we lost the other half of the shit. That's what basically they said. Golly gee Willikers, what part of, if you had to put a number on it, what part of history do you think is fake? I mean, what are we actually looking at that is real? You know what? Eric Weinstein. Okay. You want to get it? I listen to his podcast, and when he's on, look, he has a good word for this. A good term. Again, managed reality. All right.
Ah, that's great. That's great.
So when you're looking, that's what I mean. As far as how long have people been managing our reality? How long have people been controlling the information we get?
Yeah.
100% of our lifetime. So what does that mean? It's 100% bullshit. What we get from most of these people.
Right.
Again, keep it simple. That's
man. That's why they got to ban TikTok, man. They're gonna find out the giants in the fucking Grand Canyon, man.
You want to find out the truth? You got to listen to go find the weirdos on YouTube and TikTok and to hear some.
Exactly, man. Listen, man. You need that space heroin, man. Space heroin is the angel dust, man. Come on, Jack.
But yeah, so when you're dealing with information, again,
what a mess.
and all we know is the information is only as good as the fucking source, right? And if you know certain sources we all know now are 100% fucking compromised, right? So you just gotta, man, we're out here
compromised, Jack. You compromised.
We just gotta figure it out, man. And and you know, that's what we're here for, the bullshit, and it's fun trying to figure it out.
Man, that dude worked for the feds, man. Come on.
Talking about that compromise.
He's compromised, man.
That motherfucker's compromised.
You don't think I could read hieroglyphics, motherfucker? These is fucking Sumerian and this is fucking Egyptian. Fuck you.
Like, I'll give you one more example of shit.
Please, give me more.
Where people, again, have went out and did all the research and found concrete evidence. Bigfoot. All right.
Here we go. Let's do
Bigfoot, man. We gotta look.
Wait, we gotta do a whole Bigfoot episode.
There is DNA. Look, they know there's something out there. Okay. There's DNA evidence of it. You know who I want to say it was Dave Pilates was talking about it. Look, these people, there are people out there doing good work. You just ain't gonna hear about it. All right. But they went out, they actually found and there's more, like there's other. But Dave, I can't remember, but it was one of his, it was one of his episodes.
That's okay. Just reference it. We don't need to.
Yeah. But it was Dave Pilates, Missing 411. For those who might not know, look him up. Does great work.
He's the top of the pyramid as far as the conspiracy stuff. Not that it's conspiracy. I'm saying until we whatever. I don't use that word as a pejorative. I use it as a badge of honor.
No, and the data, like again, the work these people are doing to present real information and real data to people and let them, people like you and me, and we can look at it and make up, our own mind.
Hey, let's say that. People got to take back that word. When somebody calls you a conspiracy theorist, you say, goddamn fucking right. The fucking right I am. What the fuck do you believe? What the fuck? Yeah, I think people are too scared of that word. But like, yeah, this obviously
that's corny now. But that's what I mean.
Right, yeah.
Like, come on, JFK. Everybody knows that's a conspiracy.
Yep.
That's like people got together at a high level, all right, affected his I mean, we're just talking about fucking dumb shit. My 5-year-old would know at this point. I don't have a 5-year-old, my 10-year-old. Anyway, all right, changed his route through the city, changed his security detail, and then and on and on. I mean, those are facts, okay?
For sure.
But they're still saying officially, we really don't know.
Screwface, listen, it's about the book repository, and they like that word repository. And it's not a book warehouse; it's a fucking book repository. He was in that window in the top of the book repository. Get the story straight, yeah.
And they don't know how to stop themselves. I keep seeing the new JFK documentaries, and one of them, yes, they're focusing on the fucking repository.
Yeah, exactly.
All these people. Well, I saw somebody in that window. Well, no, then so-and-so saw somebody in this window. And then there was another guy that came out the back door. I'm dead serious.
Oh, I saw that one. That one was wild where they trace them through the elevators and then one guy goes up the elevator and the other guy goes down the elevator. That was fun. That was good. I actually enjoyed watching it because it was so funny that they were actually trying to they actually did the they did the 3D rendering and all that shit, and it's just like such a weird. And here's his ham sandwich in the book repository, and look, we outlined a ham sandwich. Look here, in this from this angle,
we retraced through. Yeah, and he went up there, went down. Fuck off.
Now, what did the ham sandwich know, and when did the ham sandwich know it? That's what
and Leroy Jenkins was eating his fried chicken.
Exactly.
I'm serious. That's all in there. That's all.
Oh man,
was eating fried chicken, and because it was lunchtime. And really,
they went out the back, right? And then they went out the back, and then again and then they came back and they said, I saw him standing in the front, but he wasn't by the curb because his ham sandwich was sitting on the curb first, and then he saw him in the first.
I saw him. He was drinking a Coke soda machine. Why? We're not going to talk about why the Secret Service got called off. We're not going to talk about what happened after with his brain and the autopsy. I mean, that's all out there too. That's what I'm saying. AFK is the most glaring example of everybody knows you're lying, and yet, here we are. Fucking eclipses and. Yeah, Al Gore's gonna pee in your eye.
You're definitely gonna pee on you. I'm gonna pee on you.
We're gonna get the golden shower from Al Gore. Don't go out.
Oh man, what does Al Gore and R. Kelly have in common? They're gonna pee on you. Oh man, watch out.
Fucking foolish.
You heard it here first. Screwface and Grigio, you about to get peed on. Watch out. Bring your umbrella when you go out to see that. When you go out to see that eclipse.
Get you some goggles, waterproof.
I survived Al Gore. Survived Al Gore's golden shower.
Golden shower, yeah. Golden shower t-shirt.
Amazing. So anyways, back to let's go to the next video. This is right interesting because you brought in a little bit of the government angle. A little bit of the real institutional, dare we say, deep state. I think the third one is about Orson Welles, I believe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Heard. I can't think of a single thing that turned out to be real.
That's true.
This is one of my favorite fake things. Orson Welles famously did the War of the Worlds broadcast, and people freaked out in New Jersey.
Yep.
And they made a movie about it, and they study it in schools to this day, mass psychology. That didn't fucking happen. One or two people called the police, because by the way, the broadcast said this is a radio teleplay and not reality. It was clearly in the broadcast. So nobody was fooled.
Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Air
in The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells.
The news
Yeah, we had this. I actually had this on vinyl a couple weeks ago. The whole broadcast.
papers.
Oh, nice.
Because radio was a new medium, like YouTube or whatever. It was a threat to the papers because people were getting their information off the radio, and so they are smearing it.
Oh, they were saying this is dangerous.
I know the New York Daily News was one. I can't remember all the names of papers, and they just spread it around, and it became a fucking fact.
That's unbelievable.
It's in The Gray Lady Winks is the name of the book. It's all about all the fake shit in New York Times, the paper of record. Just whatever, take your pick of things. It takes about 20 or 30 years to find out what actually happened.
How's that? So that was radio was the TikTok of back in the day. They're like, gotta put that radio out of business. They're spreading misinformation. Oh my God. Goodness.
Yeah.
That actually makes more sense. Yeah, I mean that actually makes a lot of sense because I was like, damn, were motherfuckers that stupid back then? Like that's fucking like, you know,
I get
and
it.
the
Some
aliens
people
are coming in. Like, oh my God.
But at the scale they said it was, right. Did that many people again, it's a radio show. It's like like they know it's a
But what you know what's not in the anus of history? I was gonna say the annals, but the anus of history is better. I think it's funnier for the show. What's not in the anus of history is what we talked about on the Antarctica episode is, you know, the Battle of Los Angeles, which should have been the real War of the Worlds, because they were firing anti-aircraft guns at UFOs, or they didn't know in the middle of World War II. You know, that's not in there.
Right.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Yep. You gotta go find again. You gotta go find the tinfoil hat weirdos that did some work and put that out there. Battle of LA. You can actually get some good, get a good idea. I think that was on Ancient Aliens. They did like you can get all the info on that.
Yeah, but remember we talked about that in terms of World War II. That the part that's left out is like, why were there anti-aircraft guns there? I mean, that's like, you know, it's more interesting if it's actually discussed in context. And what you realize about all this stuff, which is what I was bringing up, is it's almost explicitly discussed out of context. Like nothing's in context with any other event. And it's like you have, at a certain point, you have enough data points to sort of, like you say, connect the dots a little bit and try to understand the bigger, whether you think it's a bigger deception, that's fine. Lay all the shit out with, you know, okay, when did this happen? When did this happen? Because I'm just starting my journey on the fake history. I mean, because again, I'm looking at the totality of what's being said and sold. You know, the dinosaurs being fake, giants are real. There's a Grand Canyon. There's all this. Okay, this. You know, I think the one thing that is clear that we didn't even get into the orphan trains and all, like a repopulation in 1800. I don't know about that, but I think what does seem to be at least fairly obvious is that the really old stuff where they would have clearly needed some technology to build a certain part of this stuff. That's pretty clear. Some of this other shit, I don't know how we're going to get to the bottom of giants or no giant. I mean, they have to, somebody would have to break that stuff loose from the museums. You know, I mean, that's the only way that's going to get. Or some independent person.
Hey, look, Vatican Vault. All right.
Right. Yeah, I heard about that one too. Wow.
They've got a ton of shit down there.
Wow, man.
And again, why are they hoarding all this shit? Like, look, man, it's whatever. But you don't got to go to the Vatican. Like you said, the museums have they have shit. I've seen people, you know, your boy Giorgio Tsoukalos.
Tsoukalos. Yeah.
You know, yeah. That's his last name. That's how you pronounce it, right?
I think so. Tsoukalos, yeah.
Yeah, you know, they did an episode where they went, they had shit. It was some kind of fucking material, like was it an artifact or but anyway, they have a lot of shit.
I wanted to say ancient dildo. I wanted to say they had an ancient dildo.
They got this ancient dildo.
Vibrated on.
You know, they've got that shit. Just like they've got the ancient watch, these like computer type.
Nobody else is gonna say it. I'm gonna say ancient dildo.
Let's go put that in the back, because we can't explain that to people. Like they have shit. That's my point. We're fucking around.
I think I could do. Can I do an impression? Can I do a Sukalos impression? That he's like, he kind of talks like no, he's like, what would that do? He's got a weird accent. Why would they need this stuff with the ancient dildos? Is the question. I don't know. I want to practice this. That'd be good to learn how to do a Sukalos. What's with these ancient dildos?
The ancient aliens, needed fucking deal. I guess there wasn't no pole running around
space pussy. We're right back to space pussy. Let's go. Let's go. Bring it out.
Like Cat Williams.
That's funny. Yeah, exactly. That's what Cat Williams. That was the first time I heard that. They only cared about women and gold. I was like, wow. I mean, there's so much
gold.
shit.
Two of the hottest high value commodities. That's all these motherfuckers.
Wow. Fucking aliens, man.
Yeah, crazy.
Leave some pussy for us. Come on now.
Maybe that's why the thirst, is so prevalent throughout from what we know. Because it comes from the ancient, it's just in the DNA. You got to know how to control that shit, or else, man, you end up like, get in trouble. Some people don't get in trouble for the thirst, and some people do. You know what's funny?
I'm listening.
all the classic rock and all the old school shit we run on the vinyl show. That topic. These guys, were writing songs. You can go to Rick James to, to fucking good Lord.
Censored, too spicy. Patreon bear, too spicy. Spicy.
Because we're singing about back in the day.
Man, they went to Patreon real quick right there. I don't know what happened.
To Patreon, please. These guys are going to get us nuked. It's only $2 per month. You can hear all the wild stuff we can't say here, like
I don't know what happened.
Al Gore dropping his jizz.
That was a whole bunch of beeps, and then they went straight to Patreon. Yeah. So, anyways.